In today's training from Demystifying Proposals, we'll talk about some tricks to get to page count. Here are some suggestions or tricks for how to get to page count. It's a rare proposal that's within page count during the proposal development process, even at Gold Team. However, the proposal should be within the page limitations at White Glove. And of course, before submission, it has to be within page count or you will be non-compliant. So to achieve the goal of getting under the page limits, consider using some of the following tricks. Look for paragraph orphans. These are partial lines, usually not more than a few words at the end of a paragraph. And then try and work to reduce the sentences above so that you get rid of that orphan and save yourself a whole line. Some ways to do that are to replace your company name with we, or the company name and team as our team. That can save you a lot of space and maybe get rid of some of those orphans. Other ways to make the wording more concise include breaking up long sentences, making shorter sentences is easier to read, and often you can reduce redundancy or make the language more concise. Put modifiers in front of nouns. So rather than saying the costs of the system, say system costs. Again, this is something that seems obvious, but when you're really looking to reduce your number of pages, these small tips can really make a big difference. Some formatting tricks is to reduce the space between paragraphs. Now, again, you have to be careful what the RFP requirements say, because some RFPs require you to have a full line between paragraphs. But if you can, if you set your default at 6 points between paragraphs, as you're trying to get down to page count, you can reduce that to 4 or 3 points. That gives you space still between the paragraphs, but it saves you some space. It still looks like there's space between the two paragraphs. You can also reduce the space around headings. A lot of times we put a fair amount of space before and after our heading 1, heading 2, heading 3 styles. Consider reducing that amount of space, particularly a heading that comes right before text or right after text. It's okay if your headings are a little closer to text than you're used to seeing them perhaps in your styles. And then you can change the spacing in front of bullets so that they're all the way at the left margin. The default is usually 0.25. So think about moving your bullets over. And then, of course, look for those orphans the same as you do on the paragraphs when it comes to bullets, and try and reduce the length of the bullet so that it wraps into a shorter number of rows. We hope you find these tricks helpful on your next proposal.